Have you ever met someone who constantly talks about their grand visions, dreaming of massive success, wealth, or a completely different life? They can describe this future down to the smallest detail. They imagine it clearly, and they genuinely believe they are capable of achieving it. Yet, months and years pass, and somehow, nothing actually changes in their daily reality. It is incredibly easy to label these individuals as lazy, but psychology suggests a much more complex reality. This isn't just a lack of willpower. There are profound psychological mechanisms at play that keep them paralyzed in the dreaming phase. One major reason is that they confuse the act of thinking with actual progress. In the realm of psychology, vividly imagining success can trick the brain into experiencing a false sense of achievement. When someone spends hours visualizing their goals, talking about their plans, and mapping out their future, their brain actually releases small amounts of dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. This gives them a rush of satisfaction, almost exactly like the feeling of having actually accomplished the task. Because their brain has already received the reward, this physiological response drastically reduces the urgency and motivation to get off the couch and take real, tangible action. 2. A deep-seated fear of failure is often cleverly hidden underneath all that intense motivation. These individuals usually do not lack ambition. In fact, they have an abundance of it. What they truly fear is having to face what happens if they try their absolute best and still fall short. By never starting, they never have to confront their own limitations. Instead of risking their fragile self-image and exposing themselves to potential criticism or disappointment, they stay safely tucked away in the planning phase. As long as they don't take that leap and try, their dream remains perfectly intact and unstained by reality. 3. They fall into the trap of perpetually waiting for the right moment. Many people operate under the false assumption that they need to feel completely ready, confident, and perfectly prepared before starting a new venture. They wait for a sign, for the right financial situation, or for the stars to align. However, psychology consistently shows that readiness and confidence are usually the result of taking action, not the prerequisites for it. Action breeds clarity. By holding on to the illusion of perfect timing, they keep waiting for a magical moment that simply never arrives. 4. Severe overthinking creates a profound state of mental exhaustion. Dreamers tend to be highly analytical. They think deeply about every single step, try to predict every possible outcome, and obsess over every worst-case scenario. While preparation is valuable, this constant, relentless analysis drains an enormous amount of cognitive energy. They run marathons in their minds. By the time they have mapped out the entire journey and it is finally time to take the first physical step, they already feel completely burned out and tired, so they do nothing at all. 5. Their internal identity simply isn't aligned with their external goals. The human brain naturally resists taking actions that contradict how a person views themselves at their core. If someone has a subconscious, secret belief that they are not a disciplined person, or that they are someone who starts things but never finishes them, their mind will sabotage their efforts to protect that identity. They will inevitably struggle to act, no matter how magnificent their dreams are, because taking consistent action requires shedding their old self and actively becoming someone entirely different. 6. They become addicted to the allure of pure potential rather than the reality of effort. Talking endlessly about big dreams feels incredibly exciting. It instantly creates a captivating sense of possibility, shapes an impressive identity to present to others, and paints a beautiful picture of future success. Real progress, on the other hand, is rarely glamorous. It is highly repetitive, painfully slow, and frequently uncomfortable. So, instead of sitting down to do the hard, boring, everyday work required for mastery, they stay fiercely attached to the intoxicating idea of who they could magically be. It feels far better and safer than facing the unpolished reality of who they are right now. Ultimately, having big dreams is not rare at all. The world is full of brilliant dreamers, but possessing the discipline to turn those lofty visions into a concrete reality is exceptionally rare. The deciding factor between the dreamer and the doer is rarely raw talent, intelligence, or luck. It is simply the relentless ability to take action, especially on the days when your own mind is working against you.